Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends watch a horror movie every day in the month of October, which is decided by an evil wheel. Today, we're talking about Stephen King's Children of the Corn from 1984. This was directed by Fritz Kierschick. I'm your co-host, Alec.
And I'm Erik.
Erik, what do you think of this movie, Malachi?
That's Nebraska, you know? You gotta love Nebraska. No Maine. It's Stephen King in there. I didn't hear one mention of Maine.
This is a very different than normal Stephen King book. He's not a writer. There's no Maine. There's really no family.
This is a short story, too. It's not even like a novel, right?
Yep, this was based on a short story, which is nuts that there's like 15 sequels. And
Really?
there's so many sequels to this movie, dude.
Looking it up.
I'm looking it up right now too. It's there's 10 freaking sequels.
That's insane.
And they're doing a remake in 2021. I can't, man. What do you think of this movie though?
Oh, it's so outdated. It's so old. I mean, the special effects are ancient. And, you know, at the end when Isaac is getting possessed and the monster, he in the rose. What's the thing? He who in the rose behind the corn.
Walks behind the rose or something like that of the corns. Yeah,
He who walks behind the rose. When you like see that in the background, it's very outdated. You know, it's kind of silly looking now, but so yeah, this movie's a little outdated.
Came out in 84, but that's the one thing I was gonna say about this movie that I'm like, that just looks like shit, is when Isaac turns into like the cornstalk or whatever, like the demon, and that there's all those like colors or whatever. It's like spinning. You know what I'm talking about? Like right towards the end. That looks so bad, even for 1984. Like I was like, ugh.
Yeah, no, it really did. It wasn't great.
They do redeem themselves though at the end. This is actually that voice where it just goes Malachi like that. That was great.
Yeah.
And the makeup on Isaac and the way that he like the voices kind of match up, that is pretty good. I'll give him that. I will give him that.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, this movie is not that scary.
No.
Isaac is scary. Like,
What
he's the scariest part. Yeah.
Dude, what's up with that kid? I forgot to look him up. Like, who the hell? That kid looks like he's 45 years old.
So yeah, there's something there where yeah, a very unique looking kid. He has that look at the beginning where he's like looking where the kids are about to like kill all the parents, and you see him looking through the window. That's creepy. He's got like an Amish kind of vibe to him.
Yeah. So you've never been to Nebraska, right?
No.
Dude, I've driven through Nebraska. I gotta say, obviously the cornfields, that's real. This reminded me more of Utah, where I was, because I drove to very similar to where these people go. Hunter and I needed to get gas, and we drove into the desert on this like dirt road way the hell out, and we saw a town called Emery, Utah. It was like population 200, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe this could happen in a place like that in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because you got to drive way out into the middle of nowhere, and there's really no reason to go there unless you're like, yeah, the post office, or like you're desperate like me and you need gas sort of thing. Otherwise, but yeah, there's a town of 200 people, and what the hell do they do? Maybe they do sacrifice individuals to a weird corn demon monster. You never know.
Yeah, there's that, but there's also the kids know that town is already secluded enough. They've messed with the signs. So to get to it, you're going to have trouble getting to it if you wanted to get to it.
So that's the thing I want to ask you. Like, do they need people to come to the town? Like, they've got that gas station guy that's kind of like vaguely telling them to go there, kind of, and then the signs confuse. So, like, do they want people to come?
I think that's the one of the only adults. I think it is the only adult we see in the movie that they've let live, and he's kind of outside the town, so he's an exception. But he's their stop where he tells people to go the wrong way. I do what you tell me. You tell me to tell them this way. I tell them to go this way to the town. That way, he directs people that go into the town. They don't want people to come to town. They have their own cult. They have their corn. They have all they need in that town. They want to be left alone. They don't want people coming. But they have that little girl who draws those pictures that kind of lets them know, like, oh, someone's coming.
Yeah, because she's got the sight.
Yeah, she's got the sight. That's a little addition on top of what's already going on.
Stephen King was like, it worked so well in The Shining, I just figured I'd, jam it in here too.
That poor old guy though, man, does he look like he has back problems? The one, like that one guy that fixing the car.
Oh yeah.
If you watch that scene, that guy is
he looks like Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, he does not look good. He looks like his back is out of line.
He's like the guy from Hills Have Eyes who's just like, yeah, go down that way. Like there's always this weird guy that's a little kind of involved, but not really. And the whole town though, man, it's so that scene where they kill everybody in town. How the hell, like, I don't know. I love Stephen King, but, like, you're gonna tell me that all these kids yeah, maybe they were planning it for months, and maybe they really figured it out or whatever, but they have to take into consideration, maybe someone's out of town that day. Maybe
Mhm.
a wife or whatever isn't gonna go where she would normally go, and she remembers, like, "What the there's no way
Yeah,
that"
it's a reach. It's got the Lord of the Flies slash horror cult Amish thing going on. What'd you think of the music?
actually, not the score so much, but there's a song when, they first meet I can't remember if the little girl's name is Sarah, maybe?
Sarah, yeah.
And they go to meet her, and she's playing the record by herself, and she's playing, "Runaway" by Del Shannon. That song is awesome. I feel like that's the one thing that I took from this movie as a kid is I love that song so much, and I've still listened to it to this day. I love that song, but it's got this really eerie, like, or piano where it's like, "Dee, dee, 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 doo, doo, nee, 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 nee," and you hear it in the background while they're having this conversation.
Huh.
I love that song, but the score
Like with the choir, like, "Ah."
oh, yeah, it reminded me of Home Alone.
A little bit. Could you imagine going to, like, your kid's choir concert and they're singing the Children of the Corn song? I just
You'd be like
pictured that, like, "Ah." It's like, "Oh." It's like, "What's this
you're like,
from? This
"Wow,
is I'm kinda
this is a
scared."
very, progressive school. This
I thought
teacher's cool."
I thought this was a Christmas concert. This is weird.
Yeah, man, the whole idea is a little far-fetched, but I think the relationship is kind of interesting between, Sarah Connor, no, what the hell's her Linda Hamilton
Linda Hamilton.
and the other guy. I think the relationship is interesting. It's like they kinda show, like, this guy first of all, worked 4 years to get an internship. What the fuck kind of internship is that?
Oof, back then too, wow. He's gonna be a doctor, I guess? I don't know.
And he smokes cigarettes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's something I was like, "Wow, he's a doctor that smokes cigarettes." I'm like, "Hmm, I guess it is the early '80s, but still."
Nebraska. Where
Whatever.
they're going to Seattle, did you say?
Yeah, so they're driving whatever through it, but it's like Linda Hamilton is his birthday, right? Like, she's giving him some little dance or whatever, or is it because he got that internship in the beginning?
Yeah, I kinda missed that part, but it sounds like Linda Hamilton is kinda pressuring him. He's like, "And commitment," and he's like, I'm gonna commit to you, honey." Like, he has
Yeah,
that, like he's like,
yeah,
"We're gonna get with someday, after I become a doctor."
yeah, it's so funny, yeah, commitment, and he just
Yeah, oh, he's like, "God damn, like, I can't get away from this." It's funny. What do you think of, Malachi?
dude, horrible actor, scary kid.
Yeah, he's got, like a mean look to him, you know?
Yeah, I would never wanna, like, see that guy in an alley at night, but he says that one line that's so cheesy when they go to get, God, Linda Hamilton's character, I can't remember her name, but they go to get her. He's like, "Seize them!"
Yeah, it's delivered. Yeah, some of the lines are delivered poorly, but no, I mean, I thought he did good. I like
He's scary.
the shot of him sitting like in the while Isaac is preaching in the cornfield. He's like sitting crisscross applesauce. Like
Yeah,
it's like he's a little too big for this kid shit, you know?
yeah. I know, it's so and he calls him out, I mean, maybe the sequels do get into the, like, lore of the prequels and how it between the murder of the entire town of adults to where we are now, like, why is anyone listening to this Isaac kid? Anyone can say what Isaac's saying, be like, he speaks through me, I deliver the word," like, all this stuff's like, "Alright."
Well, I think Isaac plays off of the stuff going on. Like, there's obviously some supernatural the thing behind the rose or whatever the saying is. That's a real thing, and
I know.
he's acting like it speaks to me. Maybe it does. Maybe it's just using him to get
Mm.
to a point, and then tossed him out like pork chops.
Dude, that's the thing. The entire movie, you really don't know if this is just some, like, crazy kids doing some crazy shit, and at the end, you're like, "Oh, there is something
There,
here."
yeah,
Damn.
exactly. You have this feeling like it's just a cult where he just brain. No, there's some stuff that goes on that makes the kids believe that what they're doing is right, and there's like a god thing going on.
Yeah, and it's pretty scary once you actually hear, like, the voice, dude. I'm seriously, like, that voice when he becomes possessed, he's like, "He wants you too, Malachi." Like, that's really good. That was really I was like, "Okay, shit. I wanna see more of this the whole fucking movie, though."
Yeah, I feel like I'm already gonna have like a bias to anyone that I meet that's named Malachi. It's like, hi, I'm Eric. Hi, I'm Malachi. It's like, some reason I don't know what it is, but I already don't like you. I don't know what it is.
You're
That
never
name,
gonna meet
something about that name.
Malachi, Isaac, I mean, yeah, they all have, like, these, like, old biblical names. You're just like, "Okay." Yeah, it definitely has that old or, like, Amish cult feel too, especially with Isaac's hat in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that kid, man, that kid has the face of a 40-year-old man when he's, like, 15.
yeah.
My god. It's just yeah, he looks maybe he's not the same kid from Legend, is he? The little, like, guy that
Oh, I think that is it. The
is
the
he?
the elf kid, right?
It looks like I
Oh,
mean, it was
man,
around that
Google
time.
that. That has to be right.
Ah, yeah, man.
No,
That
maybe not, maybe not. Maybe
mm,
it's my brain playing tricks, but that could be.
it is not. It is not, but funny enough, guess what he did do? He was one of the walkabout Chuckies in Child's Play.
Talk about Chucky's. In which
Like,
one?
he in the first one, he was in Child's Play, he was one of the body doubles of the, walk around Chucky dolls.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, and he's
There you
Cousin
go.
It in the Addams Family, the original movies, he's Cousin It.
Oh, that's a shitty part to get. Oh, he must have died under that thing. That's an awful costume to wear for on
Yeah.
set.
Ugh, yeah, he's interesting.
John Franklin is his name.
Mhm. Yeah,
He
and he was born 1959, so what I'm really bad at math, but he would have been oh, whoa! He's, like, 24 in this movie, what the
There you
fuck?
go, there you go. He's got that young gene, I guess.
He looks like a little kid, doesn't he, though? Like, but aside from his face?
Yeah,
Whoa, interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. That was that yeah, he had a look to him. All the bad kids in this movie, the casting directors must have been like, even if they can't talk, they got the look.
yeah. I guess he has a disease called GHD, and it's the reason for his short stature, and he was signed onto an acting contract at the age of 23 because he looked like he was 12 years old.
Okay, see, now I'm just an asshole then.
No, I mean, that's not abnormal. No one wants to work with little kids. They want to work with old people that look like little kids. You know how much of a pain in the ass Macaulay Culkin probably was? Get a
Yep,
kid like Isaac, and he's like, "Hey, where's my coffee? Here it is. All right, let's do the scene."
yeah.
He's like, "Where's my pizza? You said I get a large cheese pizza if I do the Home Alone scene." It's like, just come on, we're almost done with the movie, kid. Like,
But Stephen King, man, 1984, he's a writer in the '70s, and then Carrie takes off. He's like, "Wow, like, I'm surprised that went so well. They spelled my name wrong in the opening credits, but whatever." And then The Shining comes out, like, 4 years later, and you've got Salem's Lot, and then you've got Cujo, and then you've got Christine, and then you've got Dead Zone, right? That came out in, like, '83. So you've got all of these movies. His career just exploded in that
yeah,
period of time.
yeah.
I mean, even the title is just like Stephen King's Children of the Corn. So you're just like, I'm in. Stephen King wrote this. I'm in.
Oh, get this. I just saw a quote. So John Franklin, who plays Isaac, it's a quote from him. One of the greatest compliments I've ever received is when a fan told me I should have played the young Emperor Palpatine in the Star Wars prequel trilogy because he
Ooh,
said it would have been such a great follow-up to Isaac. I could see
yeah.
that, like him as a young emperor.
He's just got this like really creepy face. He nails it. Yeah. I love his character in this. And I think he's in at least the characters in all the sequels. It's like Isaac's Return, Isaac's Revenge, like
Hmm.
all these crazy ones. There's one scene I noticed too when the lead man is running away from everybody. I think this is after oh my god, it's Sarah Connor, whatever. Her character gets taken and he trips and he falls on the ground, dude.
He
Looks
falls
like
like 5 times.
well, it looks like he lands right on his shoulder, dude, and the rest of the movie, you see him not using that arm, and I'm like, "Damn, I wonder if he, like, got really hurt because the whole it's where he got stabbed, like, when he's in the church, like, they do
Yeah.
stab on that side.
Yeah, he was a very aggressive actor. Peter Horton is his name. He played Bert, and Linda Hamilton played Vicky.
Vicky.
Bert, I mean, there's that scene in the church where he's like telling the kids to back off, and then he like runs through the crowd of kids. He actually runs through that crowd of kids, and if you look, you see him knock a kid really hard into a pew. So he was just like, I'm not. He's straight up like, I'm acting, but get out of my way because I'm going to run through you like I actually would. It felt very
He
real, like him running away from the kids. He burrowed through.
yeah, no, I mean, he looks like a blonde, Christian Bale.
He's a perfect whippersnapper. He's like, "Oh, that's look at that young whippersnapper there. That guy's a
Like,
whippersnapper.
yeah,
Just
he's
like
got it all.
nice and thin, good looking, good hair,
Gonna
can
be a
run really
doctor.
fast. He's just a young whippersnapper, that guy."
No, yeah, he's got a lot going on for him. What would you do, Eric, if you drove into this town and let's say you were with your girlfriend or whatever? She's like, "Let's get married." You're like, "Shut up! I'm trying to be a doctor and I'm smoking cigarettes." And you pull into that town, and then it's just a bunch of kids. What do you do? And you don't have a cell phone, anything like that. What do you do?
I mean, I'd get out of there right away, and if kids are chasing me, I'd get to my car and get Vicky with me and get her out, and we're just on the road, and those kids are on foot. They obviously don't have any cars, so just get the hell out of there. And also,
Yeah.
like another thing, like when Malachi's holding Linda Hamilton, and he's like, "I got your woman, Outlander, Outlander," and she like cuts her face. I'm like, I'm looking at Linda Hamilton. I'm like, Linda Hamilton's she took on the Terminator. I bet she could take on Malachi, or like at least put up a fight.
It is so hard to look at Linda Hamilton and not just think Terminator 2 Linda Hamilton now. It's
Yeah, yeah.
when I'm seeing her, I'm like, "This is like a different actress," like, because she's so badass in Terminator 2 that that image of her is cemented in my mind forever, so when I see her in this and even in the original Terminator, she's, like, just a waitress and kinda like, not as badass, but dude, her Terminator 2 performance is completely ruined, like, any other, wimpy character she could play. Because 'cause I'm like,
Shows her range to play, like, someone who's, like, soft and gentle to someone who's, like, straight up badass and can take on Arnold Schwarzenegger.
you're right, though. If she Malachi seems to be the one who's, like, the aggressor. So if she, like, just, like, bit Malachi's neck and ran, like, I don't think those other kids are gonna be like, "Get her!" They're all gonna be like, "Oh, shit, she hurt Malachi." Like, I don't know if I wanna
Yeah,
fuck
like,
with
oh,
her.
that's her tough guy that she just got away from.
Yeah, and Isaac, it's like, dude, just kick Isaac in the nuts and push him.
I love the scene at the end of the movie when, Bert gets to Malachi, and he doesn't, like, punch him, he's just slapping the shit out of him, like,
Yeah, just so many
just
slaps.
backhand, like, boom, boom, like, you're
Flappity flap,
like,
flap, flap.
slap, slap. You're gonna learn, like, it's like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, it's Malachi, you're, like, 16, this guy's, like, 30, like, what are you doing?
He's hitting all those children for
Oh,
good
yeah.
reason, they're about to kill him.
Imagine he gets sued.
I mean,
Gone.
2020, could
Like, the
happen.
police come and they're like, "Did you strike these
Did
children?"
you
It's like,
did
"They stabbed me." It's like, "They're children."
And Malachi's, like, holding his cheek in the back with ice, like, "Ow, ow." It's like, "Are you what? They stabbed me. They stabbed me." It's like,
It's
"Ow, my
sir.
face." He said I was going to hell." He's like, "Did you tell him that?" It's like, "Yeah, he is going to hell."
It's like, "Just look at they stabbed me, they kidnapped my wife, like, they've murdered people." They're like,
They murder everybody who turns 19, like,
that scene too, when they're cutting the pentagram, dude, and they got the blood in the cup, I'm like,
ew, it's like a
that would
corn
make me
cup.
gag looking at
Ugh,
that.
yeah, like, imagine a corn bowl of blood. Ugh.
Yeah, I really was looking at it, I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa." That really grossed me out for some reason, I don't know why. That really yeah.
That's so good.
The ending to the last shot is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Terrible, terrible ending, right?
The end, that's it. The
Yeah,
end.
that end when that end comes on screen, it's a shitty ending. What do you think? They just ran out of budget. They just know how to like the final shot. It's like the final shot should have been then just like watching the field burn and like them all together. Just like we
Yeah.
did it, we did it. Instead, they go back to the car and there's one more corn child. I don't know what do you call them, corn children, children of the corn, in the back seat going to hit him with the knife thing,
Yeah.
and he like knocks her out with the door, and it's kind of silly. It like kind of takes away from what we just watched.
100% agree with you. You got this, yeah, random girl in the back where she's like, "You ruined my sermon, so I'm gonna try and kill you now." It's
What
over.
what do you think of the blue man?
The blue man?
Yeah, remember that's the guy who like he had the Bible verse to like stop the thing,
Oh.
and then he's the one in the cornfield. He's a cop. He's a blue man. They called him. So he's
Oh.
wearing. You see him on the corn stalk, like on the cross made out of corn.
Yeah,
He's the one who's like a skeleton in the field, and
right.
he's like, "Well, do what the blue man was trying to finish." What was the blue man? And it just happened like the blue man. He was reading a Bible verse. He was going to burn the field. It's like, oh, where's that Bible verse? Oh, it's right here in my pocket. How convenient. Like.
That is such a weird stretch and a weird, scene. Yeah, the connections where it's just like, "We're all about to die. There's a clearly a demon coming in your right. There's all these murdering children right now." It's like, "Okay, so what was the blue man trying to do? Yeah, you have the thing? Okay, let me read it. Okay, now we're gonna decipher what this means from the Bible. Okay, that means that we need to light the thing on fire. Where's the fuel?" It's like, you guys are about to get killed. Your brains are not thinking.
Who killed the blue man? Malachi. Oh, that's like
Yeah.
it's just
It's
so much.
all of this plot filler just jammed into, like, 10
30
seconds.
seconds. You go to
Yeah.
the bathroom during that movie, you don't know what the hell is going on in this movie.
I mean, I don't even remember the blue man thing. I
Yeah,
don't even
no, it's
remember
so
the thing.
quick. It's 30 seconds. That's it, and they explain everything of who was trying to kill the thing behind the he who walks behind the rose or whatever, and
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
well, then, and then right that scene too where it's just, like, rips it's like, "Give me a rag," and he just rips that kid's clothes.
and the
He's
kid's
like,
like, That's not a rag."
"I fucking made that.
That's
I
the
fucking
little
made."
kid. That's the little kid from the Monster Squad.
Yeah, you're right, I
Job.
was like,
That's Sean's friend in the Monster Squad.
yep, I remember that. I do remember that, 'cause that whole time the kid looked very familiar. I was like, "Is this like some Jonathan Taylor Thomas wannabe? Who is this kid?"
He's a cute kid. He's a cute kid. Job, who was his name, and his sister
Yeah.
was that his sister, Sarah?
Yes. They're the kids that are like, "We gotta get out of here," sort of thing, and they send that
Well,
kid in the beginning.
there's the one scene where Bert is getting chased by the kids or something all around the town, and Job pops out of nowhere. He's like, "Mister, follow me down here." And it's like a storm door into like a basement. I'd be like, get the hell away from me. I'm not going down there. Like you're one of the kids. Like
Yeah,
why do you trust this kid? He's like, come down here. It's safe. It's like, that doesn't look safe. I'm gonna keep running.
Yeah, yeah, seriously, you would think that he's just like, "You guys have been tricking me all day, I don't trust any of you." You're like, "But we're the good ones, remember?" It's like, "No, you drew the picture of my wife getting murdered in the field, you're not one of the good ones. We're
Exactly.
done here."
Exactly.
That scene's pretty scary, which is like, you're thinking it's just gonna be like a nice picture of Linda Hamilton that Sarah's drawing, and then she's like, "What is this?" Like, sort of thing. You don't even see it at first, and I was like, "Oh, that's kinda scary."
Yeah. You see like the same car they're driving. It's like, oh,
And then, you hear all of those, like, playing back in, the lead dude's head where he's just like, "It's safe here, it's just weird," sort of, and it just keeps playing in his head, you're just like, I don't know where the fuck we are, why did I bring up."
I like the scene where they're driving in all the corn too, like just driving through the cornfield. Like, well, this isn't a road. Where
Dude,
are we? And he's like, I don't know. He should have been like, where do you think we are? We're in corn world. I have
I was
no idea where we are.
that whole scene, man, I'm thinking, "Okay, it's 1984, these cars are not built for off-roading, what if they just hit a ditch of mud or whatever, and then they don't have a cell phone and they're stuck there?" I was like, "This is reckless what they're doing."
Yeah, yeah, that's scary. You're gonna be stuck
They don't
if
know
you,
anything.
yeah.
19 miles to Gatlin, they're fucked, they
Oh,
don't know where they are.
well, they say at the end of the movie it's 19 miles to Gatlin. It's like, are we gonna walk? It's like, oh man, you're gonna walk. That's gonna like you're not gonna get there till 5 a.m.
I would do anything if the second one's called Children of the Corn: The Walk
The
to
walk back
Gatlin.
to what was the guy.
It's just 2 hours of them arguing about the lack of commitment, and it's just like, "Alright, we just can we just talk about this later?" It's just like,
And like
"No."
and Sarah and Joe were just like, my feet hurt. Like it's like, no,
That's
keep
the
walking.
whole movie.
It's a whole movie.
And then the 3rd one's it's back to basics, like Isaac's return, but the second one's just the walk to Gatlin, yeah.
We took
That'd
a
be
wrong turn to Gatlin. We have to go this way now.
oh my god, that would be amazing. I don't know, man, overall, I don't know, I don't really think I took much from this movie that I didn't already kinda feel about it. I think the South Park episode, kinda ruined it a little bit for me too.
Oh yeah, where the South Park kids do the same thing with their parents.
Yeah, I mean, that's so funny, yeah, because they say their parents molested them, so all the people the police take all the kids away, so they're just living in that town, and
Yeah, and
it's
they
like
have the same quotes like Outlander in the
yeah,
episode. Dude, so bad.
and he's the mayor, it's like the M word or whatever, like, "Ooh," and they don't say this in Children of the Corn, though, but they do in the South Park episode, this is like, "We need to sacrifice him to Carousel," or, like, whatever that means.
Carousel, and then like to the provider, and the provider's this John Elway statue.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's kind of the same setup, they have, like, the gas station, and Butters works at the gas station, he's like, "You don't wanna go that way," like, sort of
Yep,
thing,
yep.
but this one's more about them having kids as opposed to, like, the commitment thing with the couple.
Oh yeah, and like and all these little kids are like trying to kill them. It's like, yeah, let's have kids.
Yeah, at the end, he's like, "I think we should have kids." She's like, "I'm going to get my tubes tied, what are you
Oh
talking
my
about?"
god, yeah, I forgot about that.
That's probably what Linda Hamilton will be thinking too, she's like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
Let's just
it's not working out, Bert. It's not working out.
yeah, I don't like the way that you slap the shit out of Malachi.
Really bad. Yeah.
If you had to think of a sequel for this, because I know there's 8,000 of them, but if you had to come up with one, not seeing any of them, what would you think?
Sequel to this. I mean, obviously, Isaac goes to another town and is still alive and does the same thing. Would probably be the closest thing. Or maybe instead of corn, they do a pumpkin patch. Children of the Pumpkin Patch. That's a
Children
terrible idea, but do it.
I'm thinking there's a family that moved away right before this happened, and they moved somewhere else, and it didn't work out, and they come back to the town to try to, like, fix their lives. They're like, "You know what? Let's go back." And then they go back there, and everything's all messed up, and they have to, like they have kids or whatever, and they're like, "We need to fix this," sort of thing. Because what happens after this? Did the Children of the Corn just like, "Well, we don't have Isaac or Malachi, so, like, I guess we're evil again, though, still?" Like, what happens?
Oh, I just looked it up too. The town is actually Gatlin. It's the other
Oh.
town they're trying to get to. Hemingway. I forgot what the name of the town was. So yeah, dude, that's a cool idea. Like coming home, it's like, what? This town's really gone to shit. Like,
Maybe we should have stayed in Seattle or whatever. Hold on, dude, I'm going to actually piss my pants. Hold on one second. Sorry, I've been drinking so much coffee, I can't make it, man.
uh, what are your final thoughts on this, Alec?
My final thoughts on this, I really think that it's kind of a lower tiered Stephen King kind of movie of the ones that have been adapted. It's probably not one of the better ones. It's there's gotta be a reason why there's 10 of them though. There must be a really big following of hardcore fans out there, but I'm not
The idea is good, but don't forget that this was a short story, so there's
yeah.
less material to use and quotes and stuff. So than his other like 700-page novels.
I know. I just feel like they stretched the shit out of this, and there's just not enough content, and I mean, I'm glad it was made, but it's not something that I would be like, this is one of the best horror movies, you gotta see it,
Mm.
and I don't know.
And last thing, my other final thought was gonna be the Blue Man and that whole terrible design plot push. They could have showed that as the opening to the movie. Him trying to stop the monster originally, like trying to do the hose and stuff, and then Malachi killing him. So it already sets
Oh.
up, or Isaac killing him, you know what I mean? So it
So
sets up like that guy in the cornfield, that's him and stuff like that.
So instead of, like, the opening murder at that diner, it would just start with that?
Well, that could be part of the opening murder. The murders are happening while the guy's also trying to burn the cornfield. It could be during the daytime too, you know, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. The only thing is though, man, I think one of the things I like about this movie is that you don't know there's anything supernatural until right at the end. I kinda
That's a good
like
point.
that,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
where this would show that there is something supernatural where he's trying to read that Bible verse or whatever. That's kind of the only thing I really, really like about it.
No, that's a great point, and, you know, it could also not allude that there's anything supernatural out there, that the blue man, the cop, is burning the field with the kids in it just to, you know, fight the kids, you know what I mean? Because that's where their
Yeah.
cult is, that's where they meet.
I know. Yeah, interesting stuff. Definitely, you can see how cults get made if it's just a bunch of like children that just get influenced by this guy who's just a little bit smarter, and obviously there really is a demon out there
Yeah,
that's doing something.
very Lord of the Flies in a lot of ways, meets, like, horror.
It's so funny, man. You said that like right when this podcast started, and I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, how did I miss that?" That's like it's so obvious, and I didn't even piece that together at all. That didn't go
Yeah,
through my head once when I was watching it. I'm like, "Oh, this is very much like Lord of the Flies."
yeah.
All right, cool, man. Well, what do you say we spin that
Let's
wheel,
do
Eric?
it. Let's do it to it. Alright. Spinning. Spinning. Oh boy, we got a goofy one. Killer Clowns with a K from outer space.
Ooh, yeah. No, we're getting all the funny-ish ones.
This one, our expert Mike wants to join us on
Oh,
too.
you're right.
He's an
We have a
expert on killer clowns. So
we do. We have a guest, Mr. Mike, so he'll be on. Oh, cool. I'll give him a call. Great, man. All right, Killer Clowns, another fun one there. All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Let's keep it going.
All right, cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening in today, and we'll see you tomorrow with Killer Clowns from Outer Space and our second guest.